Today we're going to really focus in on corrections like every week, but also, just really lock in to facing Ole Miss.
How would you describe the performance on Saturday?
Wasn't up to our standard. We had good moments, but consistency is a big thing for us, and we just have to be more consistent and just limit the self-inflicted wounds.
How would you describe Tua after seeing him up close?
We were already aware that he was a good player, and
Pretty good.
He showed that.
Yeah.
He showed that he was a good player, and
Yeah.
he played very well.
Yeah.
So.
You got him in a lot of third and long situations. A lot of times, though, weren't able to get him off the field. What did you see there?
That was one of the keys to success, and we weren't successful enough on third down, and we're just gonna have to go back to the drawing board and just get all those mistakes we made on third down corrected.
Did you think that y'all corrected any of the mistakes in that game?
We made adjustments at halftime, and for certain pressures, coverages, and some of the stuff worked, but again, it just came down to execution at the end of the day. So.
What's the challenge for the younger guys to try to get them to continue to focus and grind every day?
Well, the nature of being an SEC team, there's going to be a new challenge every week. So,
Right.
I feel like them coming here, they have to be motivated, and that motivation needs to run in, and it's gonna have to start equating to wins.
Obviously, are you more confident or comfortable playing against a team that runs the football more than, say, one that's pass oriented like Alabama?
I feel like they are a team that's unique. They have a very powerful run game and pass game, which makes it a little more difficult to defend. But I wouldn't say I prefer one or the other.
So with that, Ole Miss is a very heavy run team. So, what's that going to be like? You say you don't prefer it, but I guess what do you guys need to do well to prepare for something like that?
We're just going to have to remain really solid in our assignments and just keep that the gap integrity that we have to be really, really good in run support. So we're just going to have to lock into that this week.
How much harder does it make the defense's job when they have solid returns like Alabama was on Saturday?
Special teams is always a component of the game that's just equal to offense and defense. A lot of people lose sight of the importance of that. And as our special teams unit, we just didn't execute well at times, and that ended up biting us. But we're just gonna have to get that fixed this week and improve.
How many special teams units are you in? How many units are you in?
I'm really field goal block, but I'm actually I'm pretty much a backup in every single one.
So what was wrong? What was wrong Saturday? What did they do that maybe other teams didn't do against you guys?
It was just a mixture of people taking turns, players taking turns, not doing their assignments correctly. So that came down to execution as well. So we just have to be more solid there.
Do you anticipate being on more special teams moving on?
Possibly.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Obviously, you're not going to face the talent that Bama had every week, but what about tackling in space? Obviously, they're really good at it, but can that get better for y'all going forward?
Absolutely. That's going to have to be an emphasis this week, just being more consistent, making those open field tackles. In order to be a good defense, we're going to have to be really good at that. So we're going to improve that.
Does that kind of serve as a litmus test for you facing a wide receiving core that talented and that athletic?
It was definitely, we knew the challenge coming in. They have a very talented receiving core, and we knew one of the keys would be to limit those guys, and we knew that they would have their plays, and we would just have to have ours, but we just need to have our plays more often, get, win downs more often.
6 games into your comeback, how would you assess how it's going in your performance so far?
I'd definitely say for myself, I just have to be more consistent. There's good, but I have to limit the bad and limit, just make sure that I become a great player for this defense. So
Is the lack of pass rush, how hard is that for your guys in the back end having to cover that long?
we just, pass as a guy that is involved in the pass rush some too as well. We just have to hit home. The schemes there. We just have to execute our techniques better.
Are y'all blitzing?
Yes.
Y'all are blitzing?
Yes.
What do you think
we
the
were
percentage
blitzing.
is? Tough to say.
I honestly would.
So even when you're blitzing, you're still not getting home. How concerning is that?
It's definitely something that we're gonna have to work on, this weekend, just going forward in general.
So much defense is passion and emotion. What do you do to kind of keep that going among the entire group?
Just just feeding off of my teammates. When one of us makes a big play, we all have to have that energy because, like you said, energy is a big part of our, especially a defense's success,
Right.
having that energy and playing with it. So we're going to try to, build more of that this week.
Anthony, if you could speak for the whole team, what do you think is just the mindset, the frame, whatever the way you want to put it? I don't like to use the word pressure, but how are y'all feeling about going into this next stretch of 4 games that y'all probably need to win to be able to feel like you've had some success this season?
Well, the first step in that is just correcting those mistakes that we made on Saturday. Without correcting those, it could bite us later down on the road or even this week. So it's correcting those mistakes and focusing on Ole Miss, the first game in that stretch. We have to really lock in this week and get our schemes right and execution down.
This is a game you should win, but we just saw South Carolina beat Georgia, so I know anything on paper is kind of thrown out the window.
Absolutely.
How do you? I know you're not going to take it lightly, but this is a game you should win, right?
Being in the SEC, you're gonna, it's heavyweight battles every single week. We're definitely prepared to take their best shot, regardless of where the media, thinks they are as a team. We're prepared to face a good Ole Miss team.
How close do you think you guys are to turning the corner and kind of righting the ship on the season? I know you guys didn't expect to be 3-3, 6 games in.
Turning that corner is just, reducing the amount of self-inflicted wounds that we have. We just have to be able to be more consistent executing our assignments.
How do you keep your confidence level up, the team, when every one of you guys come in every week and talk about you need to eliminate mistakes, but they still keep happening. So how do you keep your confidence up as a team?
Just continuing to stay true to what coach tells us. We have to continue, regardless whether we have to get those mistakes corrected. And although there are some reoccurring, we just have to make sure that we keep working to eliminate those permanently.
I remember the flash you showed as an ability to rush the passer your freshman year. I think about the swamp and that couple moments you definitely had there. Do you think you might, with this team really having trouble with pressure, do you think you might become a bigger part of that?
It's possible that, Coach blitzes me some too as well. There was a blitz that actually hit home. It ended up being a run play, but I ended up getting a TFL off of it. So the pressures are there, and maybe I will be a part of it. So.
Are you discouraged?
Not at all.
Do you think do you sense that anybody in your locker room is?
No, I don't believe we are. We're just really looking forward to getting this bad taste out of our mouths and moving on.
Do you like where this locker room is now as a group of guys?
Yeah, we're a bunch of committed guys. That's one thing that I can definitely say. We don't take any of this lightly, and we're definitely looking to get better.
At the same time, are you seeing the improvement you want to see, given the fact that the 3 losses have come to teams that are 17-1?
For sure, there's definitely improvement. The talent, the ability, the flashes are there. We just have to make those more reoccurring. We have to be more consistent.
Talk about consistency. What, how are you able to I guess do that? What do you need to do to be more consistent?
It all starts in practice. That all starts today. Just being able to be consistent in our assignments just on day one and correct those mistakes. So.
First time this season that y'all are unranked. I know that's something that y'all usually say you don't pay attention to, but is it a little bit of a disappointment not to have that national recognition?
We really don't pay attention to it. At the end of the day, it's all about, putting our all into it every single week to get a win. And, it's always disappointing when we can't do that. So we're just focused on getting this win this week. So.
As bad as special teams played, it was still 34-20. You're right there. How do you got to stop, and the offense then went 3 and out. It just seems like when there's big moments, Anthony, and you're right there to get over the hump, you just can't quite make that play. How does that change?
I'd say that's a consistency issue. Just we have to be more thorough and more consistent in practice, and that'll carry on in the game.
Because you're not getting blown out. You're there. It's just you need one more play. Do you get that sense? We're just sitting there shooting, and we're like, okay, defense just got to stop. It's 34-20, offense gets the ball back, then they can't do anything. And then, y'all let up a drive. Do you get that sense that you're there, you just can't make that one extra play?
Absolutely. As a team, we just have to be more consistent overall. So.
Is that a big reason why you don't get discouraged, too, is that you still are there? It's just you got to find a way to break through?
Yeah, seeing progress is definitely big for us, but when it's not consistent, it's just not enough. So we have to continue to try to get better.